Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health. We have 8 locations to serve you better. Our staff is dedicated to help you and your family. Here's your host, Vicki Soulé.
And welcome to Community Conversations. If this is the first time that you've caught us on the radio, welcome to a little piece of paradise, Indian River County. And I say that because Community Conversations is not just about Treasure Coast Community Health and the primary care healthcare services we provide, but it's also connecting with some of the wonderful groups in town, the wonderful people in town, and whether that town is for you, Sebastian or Vero or Wabasso or Fellsmere, you will find that everyone here is really committed to making things better. And so we have conversations about how that takes place, how you might engage in that. And sometimes we even connect the dots to better wellness. So today I'm proud to have someone I've never had on the show before, Adam, from the Vero Beach Ballet, or yes. Ballet Vero Beach.
Ballet Vero Beach.
Ballet Vero Beach. So I get to ask you all the questions I've always wanted to ask you, but been afraid to ask because I should know these things.
Oh, no one should know anything, Vicki. I'm so happy that you have me here so that we can answer your questions.
So when I think of ballet, I think of 2 different kinds of ballet because as a parent, even though I only had 1 girl and 5 boys, ballet is something that a lot of moms think about enrolling their children in. And in fact, I was twinkle toes for a very, very short period of time in my life before I switched over to tap dance. But I also think about the formal ballets and the productions that we see. So why don't you start by giving us some explanation about Ballet Vero Beach?
So Ballet Vero Beach is the only professional company between West Palm Beach and Orlando. When we started, we're actually about to enter our 10th anniversary season.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. I say that out loud and I get a little nervous but excited. I don't really know how it happened. I certainly have less hair and a few more wrinkles than I did 9 years ago.
Them since the beginning.
Yes, I actually founded the organization.
Wow, congrats.
So when we started in 2013, there wasn't even resident professional dance in West Palm. Miami City Ballet, which is a huge company, they would perform in West Palm Beach at the Kravis Center, but we were the only company between Orlando and Miami that was a resident professional company, meaning we live and work in the community, our artists are paid, our technicians are paid. So that sort of speaks to the professional level productions that you are talking about. And then like any good ballet company, we also have a lot of education and community engagement initiatives because, it's not, I won't say the arts are a tough sell, but they're still, we are always in the arts fighting that stigma that, oh, this is just a pleasure thing. This is a luxury thing. I forget who the quote is by, but I love the quote that says the arts are the key to the life well lived. So that could be you listening to music. That could be you deciding that I want to take up painting, whatever it is. We really believe that, and we try and connect our art into the community to make it a better place.
And you're certainly doing that with the Moonshot Moment, the Moonshot Community Action Network that we both belong to, connecting the dots between wellness and literacy and community economic wellness, not just now, but going into the future with our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah, that's how you and I met, both as members of the MCAN Leadership Council and through the Learning Alliance and through Moonshot Community Action Network. And when I first joined that group, Cindy Gedeon, the former executive director of the Vero Beach Museum of Art, she kept saying to me, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And she kept saying it at a time, actually this time of year, Vicki, this, as an executive director, the February, March, April, it's like, you can't think straight. I can't make one more meeting. I can't make one more commitment. I barely like keeping my head above water. So finally, I think it was like August or September, she got me to go. And I remember very distinctly being in that room and understanding that the goal was to get all kids reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade and how important that was. I totally got that. But I said to the two founders of the Learning Alliance, Liz and Barbara, I said, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, it's sort of like sitting in a room of librarians
but
with,
I'm gonna stay,
with a purple hat on.
I'm going to stay until I find out why. Yeah. And I'm sure that, you probably felt the same way. Okay, I'm running this public health care, and I don't know yet, but I'm going to stay until I find out.
Impact,
exactly.
On our community through our efforts.
Exactly.
And maybe stretch a little.
Yeah. And, a sidebar, one of the reasons I first gravitated towards you and TCCH is because you guys aren't just about reactionary healthcare. You're about preventative healthcare and the whole human wellness and making sure that, if we're happier and healthier and we understand that, we need a lot less, actual triage care and all of that sort of stuff.
An ounce of prevention.
Right, an ounce of prevention. So we at Ballet Vero Beach, I started thinking about you guys and I started thinking about the Moonshot Moment. And I said, you know what? I've always known that dance and the arts can be tied to academic success easily. It's, it teaches discipline. It teaches a work ethic, having to set a goal and reach it. So
time management.
Absolutely, time management.
We talked about that, when we were much, much younger and still in school full time.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the academics of being in class.
Right. And when I was getting towards my professional career as a dancer, I had to start academics at 7:45, and then at about 12:50, I started dance class and sometimes had rehearsals till 10 o'clock at night. So I had to get my homework done, still had to make it all happen. And it translates, study of the arts translates into other life skills. So with help from the Learning Alliance's team, we stumbled on really some cutting edge thoughts about a practice called arts integration, which is where classroom teachers, especially in elementary school, you tie some sort of art form to the lesson. And it improves kids' cognition, memory. It excites them in a way that they retain knowledge. So what we've started doing at Ballet Vero Beach is we've taken our student matinee series, which is absolutely free for any age school child in Indian River County, but we specifically serve first, third, and fourth graders. And we've transferred them to just being, a simple come sit in the theater and watch a ballet and maybe ask some questions, which is great. We all need arts exposure, but we've translated them to what we call the Stage to Page program. And what it is the kids get 4 points of contact with our professional artists and Learning Alliance staff. We go in and we start with a pre-performance workshop.
Within their classroom.
Exactly. We provide a read aloud video of whatever the text for the ballet is. They come see the ballet, and then we do a post-performance workshop. So what we've done is we've transferred our first grade matinee to an abbreviated version of the Sleeping Beauty ballet. We call it the Sleeping Princess, but we have our own storybook that goes with it with QR codes and ancillary activities.
Wow.
So that's in its second year. And next year, we're going to unveil our third grade student matinee. And then in a couple years, we'll do our fourth grade. And the idea is, and we have district buy-in on this, is that in a few years, we want to be hitting every first, third, and fourth grader in the county every single year. So then you start to,
ambitious.
Yes, it's ambitious. Again, this is the time of year that I'm exhausted and I'm thinking about those goals and going, well,
but we're going to talk about volunteers. I take it before
absolutely. But the funny thing is that at that point we would then be able to track kids, just like you all can track patients and figure out, okay, are we having an impact with that ounce of prevention? And it's the same thing with us. What were the results of the first graders? When we see them in third grade, are their classroom teachers now still more comfortable using the arts integration techniques? And are the kids being able to make those connections to other academic subjects? So it's incredibly exciting to be able to take an art form that I love so much and then really have an impact in the community, because you and I have talked about this before. That next generation coming up, I feel like they need us now more than ever. And we're always talking about, in the Moonshot Moment and in MCAN, how we can not just engage the kids, but engage the entire community around the kids.
And so that leads to the question I've been sitting on, waiting for you. What kind of engagement then do the parents have as these first graders?
So we are...
or opportunities, I should have said.
We actually, one of the things that we're proud of is that, and I know you have the same thing, where you test out a program and then all of a sudden it's like a seed. there's all of these routes and all of these other directions. You go, oh, I didn't think about that, but we have to go that direction.
Right.
And it's similar with the parents. So we've started an accessible and family-friendly series. And that is on Sunday afternoons throughout our season. The ticket prices are $10, so it's subsidized. And this
Marvelous.
is where we don't turn the lights all the way off in the theater. We sort of alter the soundtrack so it works for folks on the autism spectrum or with other developmental disabilities, but it also works for families of young children. And the target audience of that is actually pre-first grade. So we're trying to get the parents and the families to realize that we're here before we even get the kids in school, and to be able to, take your family of 5 to the ballet, a professional level production for $50.
Yeah.
It's kind of unheard of. Like, most people have gotten rid of their $10 tickets, and we really try and start there. Even the tickets for our regular shows start at $10. But the other way that we're engaging parents and engaging populations that may not ordinarily have access or have the wherewithal to come to our shows is we work with 19 social service nonprofits in our area, including TCCH, and what's called our ticket donation program. And all of these organizations, every time we're doing a show, they get an email. It's from me. It says, please, we have plenty of tickets. Offer them to your staff, to your volunteers, to your constituents. So we have really gotten fans from various organizations from around the community that
Who might otherwise never think about going to the ballet.
Right, but they get to come every single time. And oftentimes with the nonprofits, especially during the summer because we have a little more time, we will bring our dancers out to their facilities for a mini performance. We've done it at GYAC. We've gotten the guys from Camp Haven to come in and watch a dress rehearsal and then be able to talk to the dancers.
Nice.
So we really are trying to, fit all of those puzzle pieces together.
That's very creative, I have to say.
So that as many people have access points to the arts as possible.
Well, and obviously, as you said, you have some sponsors that are helping with that.
We do.
And
honestly.
that's huge. So thank you very much.
Thank you to all, all our funders and supporters.
Yes.
And I know how philanthropic this community is. And when I was getting ready to start the company, one of the only reasons that I was convinced is because I knew the spirit of philanthropy and the culture of philanthropy in this community. And it allows us at Ballet Vero Beach to really be able to pick programs that are important, regardless if they're ever going to make us any money. Our accessible family-friendly series, we could sell out all of those shows and the revenue would maybe be $3,000 gross. And when you're looking at an entire organization, that's great and that's wonderful, but it's never a program that's going to make us money. So we've worked really
big money.
Yeah, we've worked
cost of putting on a production, I think.
Exactly.
Is,
so the balance is
more.
the
I don't
balance
know exactly, but
the balance is not necessarily there, but we've worked very hard with our board and our donors and the philanthropists that support us in saying we want to be able to serve the community regardless of anyone's ability to pay for our programming. That's why the Student Matinee Series is free. That's why we give away all those free tickets. That's why tickets to our ancillary, like the accessible family-friendly shows, are subsidized.
And on those, excuse me for interrupting, but I do want to ask, you talked about the lights aren't completely out and a variety of individuals who may not be very good about being quiet.
Absolutely.
I presume that all goes
it goes part and parcel. We have in those performances, we have 2 different areas of the theater. One where we expect people to sit still and one where they're allowed to move around. But we never try and keep it quiet on those.
Yeah, because particularly with the little ones, they've got questions. And if you shush them then, it's never going to come back up. So I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and when we were developing the series with the Exceptional Student Education Department at the school district, one of the things that really struck me is that some of these diagnoses, whether you're somewhere on the autism spectrum or maybe there's, a physical difference or a mental difference, it's not that this is the way it is and this is the way it stays for some individuals. So what I was so sort of taken aback by when I was talking to the ESE department is they said, no, if we could have more opportunities and more access points to be able to allow folks with differing abilities into a theater, the first time they might be totally uncomfortable, but time 2, 3, or 4, they might be fine, and they might then be able to go in what we would call a non-accessible family-friendly show. And that, to me, the arts needs we need all the audiences we can get. There is, for me, anyone who says, oh, this isn't for you anymore, I just don't even, I don't even have the time of day for that. Like, I don't even have the time to even give that out. Wait a minute, let me talk to you about that.
Yeah.
No, we want everyone to feel comfortable at our programming. And so the expectation of you must come and you must sit for 3 hours in a darkened theater and be absolutely silent. We don't even do productions that are 3 hours because we know how quickly life moves now these days. But you're right. It's important. And if we never make people feel comfortable in different spaces, even a healthcare clinic, people aren't comfortable coming in the door at TCCH. You can't treat them.
Nope.
If people don't feel welcome at Ballet Vero Beach, we're never going to be able to inspire them with our art. So we think it's very important.
And I absolutely agree. But you know what? We've talked for 15 minutes straight, so we've got to take time for a sponsor break. And we'll be right back. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wesley Davis, your Indian River County.
The new year is underway, and it's time to schedule your annual physical. This quick, comprehensive visit can uncover diabetes, high blood pressure, and even cancer, ultimately saving your life. Treasure Coast Community Health waives Medicare deductibles and offers a sliding fee scale discount, so everyone can afford to take care of their health. We can't fix what we don't know. Let's work together to make a healthier community. Call us today at 772-257-TCCH. We're a nonprofit.
They say a good contractor is hard to find until they find us. Hi, this is Greg, owner of Workhorse Residential Contractor. If you've got a job to do, call Workhorse. We can remodel your whole home, your bathroom, your kitchen, or even just put a fresh coat of paint on whatever you need. We'll give you a fair price, and we always show up on time. We're not handyman, we're licensed and insured contractors. We serve up to Sebastian and down to Fort Pierce. If you've got a job to do, call Workhorse. Find us on Facebook, Workhorse Residential Contractor.
Everyone wants to do their part in preventing the spread of the coronavirus, and doing your laundry the right way can help. This is Tom Rhodes, owner of Sunshine Laundries, with some helpful laundering tips. Think hot. Hotter is better because viruses hate heat. Wash your clothes in the warmest water setting allowed, and be sure to dry thoroughly in a hot dryer. For more helpful coronavirus fighting tips, visit sunshinelaundries.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Now, what is TCCH? Treasure Coast Community Health is a federally qualified health center, which means we take care of people from birth to death in primary care, family practice, pediatrics. We also have 24 chairs in 3 different locations if you need dental work done. We also have a lot of behavioral health specialists, and we are supplemented in all of that through our great pharmacy team. Again, 3 different locations out of our 8 have pharmacy awareness and really very discounted medications. With the whole idea that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, we like to see you on a regular basis so that we can keep you healthy. And we are active in the community, so you'll see us out in different outreach events, or as we're talking with Adam today, through the Moonshot Moment campaigns, because we firmly believe that education starts very, very, very early. And the more we can educate people, the better our community will be in the long term, health-wise, financially, emotionally, and even in the arts.
Absolutely.
I couldn't
Absolutely.
resist.
I love it, Vicki. You made all those connections. I'm very impressed.
So Adam's been telling us a lot about Ballet Vero Beach, which is about to celebrate its 10th anniversary. Yes. Adam actually is the founder as well as the executive director still. And we just talked about delegation and how difficult that is when it's your baby, but he's getting there. Give him another 10 10 years.
I'm getting there. Oh gosh, give me another 10 years. I shudder to think what I'm going to look like at that point, but it's fine. Maybe we won't do video at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It'll all be okay. Just take my word for it. But you're always looking for ways to advance, grow the arts in terms of exposure to others, and like all of us, perpetuating that craft or trade for future generations. So one of the latest things I understand is that you have a fellowship opportunity. So tell us about that.
So we were talking before the break how sometimes one program will lead you to another, like seed sprouting.
Yes.
So we've been working actually since before the pandemic started with Indian River State College on a meaningful way for young people to enter the dance profession while not having to choose between higher education and a career in dance.
Nice.
I started out my career as an unpaid apprentice making $25 a week.
A week?
Yes.
You're not that old.
I used to get so excited when we went on tour because my per diem, which is what they pay you, for food when you're not at home, was more than my weekly salary. So I would take all my friends out to dinner on my per diem because I made so much money.
That's funny.
But we knew that when we were looking for apprentice dancers or trainee dancers, we didn't want to do what most other ballet companies do, which is bring in a lot of young people, sort of use and abuse them for a few years and say, oh, sorry, we don't have any paid contracts. Good luck elsewhere.
Oh.
So what we developed with Indian River State College is our fellowship initiative. And we are actually at Ballet Vero Beach going to pay for the AA degrees of our fellows through Indian River State College.
Wow.
They'll be getting an AA at IRSC. They'll be dancing professionally with Ballet Vero Beach. And what's really great is the third partner in this sort of trio is the Learning Alliance. So they're going to get training in all of the arts integration and arts literacy techniques that we use as part of our student matinee series. And they will become the conduits of that delivery in the school system.
Wow.
And it hits a few different needs. One is just the fact that higher education is getting so expensive, and Indian River State College has such quality programs, and it's not expensive, especially if you're a Florida resident, such that, Ballet Vero Beach can actually take on paying these fellows tuition. The other thing I was saying is it gives young people meaningful inroads into a professional dance career. They're going to get, it's a 2-year program. They're going to get 2 years to figure out, do I really like this? Do I really want to devote myself to dancing with a company?
Without having to give up, as my mother would say, your fallback plan.
Yes. And the beauty about that is it's not a specified AA degree. They could major in business. They could major in education. We even have talked to IRSC if a fellow is already coming out of high school with their AA, as many kids are nowadays, we can actually pay for them to get their full BA over 2 years.
So parents and grandparents, are you listening? Should Adam repeat this?
It's free for anyone with Florida residency.
Wow.
And so any student who comes to us without Florida residency in the first year before they establish residency would have to pay the tuition difference. But other than that, not just the tuition is free, but Ballet Vero Beach is paying for all their tights and shoes that they would need to be a professional dancer. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Point shoes are expensive, sometimes $100 a pair for the female dancers. So we're really trying to make it as accessible as possible. And we even have plans down the road to hopefully offer a housing and food stipend, because we know that we are in a housing crisis. So we want to make sure that literally any graduating senior could participate if they fit the criteria.
That is phenomenal. Yeah. Just phenomenal.
It's exciting to me because there's just such a need. And we were talking about young people even before we went on the air. They've had to deal with so much in the past few years. Not to mention there are always generational shifts and, the ease of instant communication and technology at your fingertips. I feel like a lot of the graduating seniors I talk to, they just need more time. So we're giving them that gift while they can pursue their passions. I mean, what's better than that?
Exactly. I am so impressed. But before we round out the end of this, which is coming quick,
I know.
Tell us your website so people can learn more.
Yeah, so our website is balletverobeach.org. It's super easy. We have a volunteer portal there. The new season's going to be announced in just under a week, and the website will be able to tell you everything you need to know about it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You've answered so many of my questions. I'm sure I could come up with more, but
sure.
Again, you'll have to stay tuned next week for some other interesting conversations, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you very much for being with us.